Gangam Basom Buddho
Yatha Gangam Vasom Buddho
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Gunasya Yudharitam
Nirgunasya Hayudaratam
Ahaitu Kya Vahita
Ahaituki
Ahaitukya
avyavahita
Vavyahita
Ya Bhaktir Purushottame.
ya
Ya
bhakti
Bhakti
purushottame.
Purushottame.
Try one more time. Madguna Shruti Matrena
Madguna
Madguna Shruti
shruti matrena
Matrena
Mai Sarva Guhashaye
Mai
Mahi
sarva
Sarva
guhashaye
Guhashaye
Manogatir Avichina
Manogatir
Manogatira
Abhichena
vichina
Yatha Gangam Basom Buddho
Yatha
Yata
gangam
Gangamba
sambudhau
Sambudhau
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Lakshanam
Lakshanam
bhakti
Bhakti
yogasya
Yogasya
Nirgunasya Hyudaritam
Nirgunasya
Nirgunasya
hridayam
Hayudaratam
Ahaitu Kya Vyavahita
Ahaituki
Ahaitukya
avyavahita
Vyavahita
Ya Bhakti Purushottame.
Ya
Ya
bhakti
Bhakti Purushottame
Chant.
Madguna shruti matrena
Madguna Shruti Matrena
Mai sarva guhashaye
Mahi Sarva Guhashaye
Manogatira vichina
Manogatira Vichinna
Yatha gangam bhasau madhau
Yata Gangam Vasom Buddho
Lakshanam bhakti yogasya
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Nirgunasya hi udahritam
Nirgunasya Yudharitam
Ahaituki avyavahita
Ahaitukya Vyavahita
Ya bhakti purushottame
Ya Bhakti Purushottame Madguna
Madguna.
Shruti Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
Madguna Shruti Matrena
Madguna
Madguna
shruti matrena
Matrena
Mayi Sarva Guhashaye
Mai
Mayi
sarva
Sarva
guhashaye
Guhashaye
Manogatir Avichinna
Manogatera
Manogati
vichina
Avichinna
Yata Gangam Vasom Buddhau
Yatha gangam
Gangam
vasambudhau
Vasambhudau
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Lakshanam bhakti yogasya
Yogasya
Nirgunasya Hayudharatam
Nirgunasya hi
Nirgunasya
udharatam
Hudahritam
Ahaituki Avyavahita
Can you hear me?
Ahaituki
Aitiki
avyavahita
Avyavahita
Ya Bhakti Purushottame
Ya
Ya
bhakti
Bhakti
purushottame
Purushottame Madguna Shruti Matrena
Madguna
Madguna Shruti
shruti
Matrena
matrena
Mayi Sarva Guhashaye
Mahi
Mayi
sarva
Sarva
guhashaye
Guhashaye
Manogatir Avichinna
Manogatir
Manogatira
Avichinna
Yata Gangam Basom Budau
Yatha
Yata Gangam Vaso
gangam
Buddho
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Lakshanam
Lakshanam
Bhakti
bhakti
Yogasya
yogasya
Nirgunasya Hyupa Udahritam
Nirgunasya
Nirgunasya
Hayudharatam
Ahaituki Avyavahita
Ahaituki
Ahaituki
avyavahita
Avyavahita
Ya Bhaktihi Purushottame
Ya
Ya
bhakti
Bhakti
purushottame
Purushottame
Madguna Shruti Matrena
Madguna Shruti Matrena
Mai Sarva Guhashaye
Mahi
Mahi
Sarva
Sarva
Guhashaye
Guhashaye
Manogatir Avichena
Manogatir
Manogatir
Avichinna
Avichinna
Yata Gambaso Mudbada
Yata Gangam Vasom
Basom
Buddho
Budau
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya
Nirgunasya Hi Uddharatam
Nirgunasya
Nirgunasya
Hayudharatam
ahituki avyakita
Ahetuki avyavahita
ya bhakti purushottame.
ya
Ya
bhakti purushottame
mat
mat
of me.
of me.
Guna,
Guna,
qualities.
qualities.
Shruti,
Shruti,
by hearing.
by hearing.
Matrena,
Matrena,
just.
just.
Mai,
Mai,
towards me.
towards me.
Sava guha ashaye,
Sarva guha ashraye,
residing in everyone's heart.
residing in everyone's heart.
Managati,
Managate,
the heart's course.
the heart's course.
Avichina,
Avichinna,
continuous.
continuous.
Yata,
Yata,
as.
as.
Ganga,
Ganga,
of the Ganges.
of the Ganges.
Ambasaha,
Ambasaha,
of the water.
of the water.
Ambudo,
Ambudo,
towards the ocean.
towards the ocean.
Lakshanam,
Lakshanam,
the manifestation.
the manifestation.
Bhakti yogasya,
Bhakti yogasya,
of devotional service.
of devotional service.
Nirgunasya,
Nirgunasya,
unadulterated.
unadulterated.
He,
He,
indeed.
indeed,
Udaritam,
udharatam,
exhibited.
exhibited.
Ahituki,
Ahaituki,
causeless.
causeless.
Avyavahita,
Avyavahita,
not separated.
not separated.
Ya,
Yeah,
which.
rich.
Bhakti,
Bhakti,
devotional service.
devotional service.
Purusha Utame,
Rishi Uttame,
towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So if we can have everyone muted now at this time until at the end, when we have questions and comments. Translation. The manifestation of unadulterated devotional service is exhibited when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is residing in everyone's heart, just as the water of the Ganges flows naturally down towards the ocean. Such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material condition, flows towards the Supreme Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The basic principle of this unadulterated, pure devotional service is love of Godhead. Madguna Shruti Matrena means just after hearing about the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These qualities are called Nirguna. The Supreme Lord is uncontaminated by the modes of material nature. Therefore, he is attractive to the pure devotee. There is no need to practice meditation to attain such attraction. The pure devotee is already in the transcendental stage, and the affinity between him and the Supreme Personality of God is natural and is compared to the Ganges water flowing towards the sea. The flow of the Ganges water cannot be stopped by any condition. Similarly, a pure devotee's attraction for the transcendental name, form, and pastimes of the Supreme Godhead cannot be stopped by any material condition. The word avichina, without interruption, is very important in this connection. No material condition can stop the flow of the devotional service of a pure devotee. The word ahaituki means without reason. A pure devotee does not render loving service to the personality of Godhead for any cause or for any benefit, material or spiritual. This is the first symptom of unalloyed devotion. Anyabilashita shunyam. He has no desire to fulfill by rendering devotional service. Such devotional service is meant for the Purushottama, the Supreme Personality, and not for anyone else. Sometimes pseudo-devotees show devotion to many demigods, thinking the forms of the demigods to be the same as the Supreme Personality of Godhead's form. It is specifically mentioned herein, however, that bhakti, devotional service, is meant only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, Vishnu, or Krishna, not for anyone else. Avyavahita means without cessation. A pure devotee must engage in the service of the Lord 24 hours a day without cessation. His life is so molded that at every minute and every second he engages in some sort of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Another meaning of the word avyavahita is that the interest of the devotee and the interest of the Supreme Lord are on the same level. The devotee has no interest but to fulfill the transcendental desire of the Supreme Lord. Such spontaneous service unto the Supreme Lord is transcendental and is never contaminated by the material modes of nature. These are the symptoms of pure devotional service, which is free from all contamination of material nature. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nivase Sisanyavadi Paschachadi Satarane. The manifestation of unadulterated devotional service is exhibited when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is residing in everyone's heart. Just as the water of the Ganges flows naturally down towards the ocean, such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material condition, flows towards the Supreme Lord. So the manifestation of unadulterated devotional service is exhibited when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the word here, unadulterated. I'm going to ask this question, and only if you know the answer, you can unmute and answer the question. When Srila Prabhupada arrived, actually before arriving in Boston, when they were pulling into the Boston Harbor, he saw a sign. And that sign, he felt was a sign from Krishna. Now I'm trying to think of what that sign said. But if anybody knows what it said, please unmute and say it. I'll think of it in a second.
Is it P and B, Prabhu?
What? I don't know what you said.
Something P and B. Some letters P and B.
No. No, he saw one sign and it said, oh man, I used to know this all the time. I really get forgetful.
Unalloyed steel.
Unalloyed, yes.
Unalloyed steel.
Yeah.
STEEL, steel.
Yes, unalloyed was the word though, that he saw that and he thought of that was a sign from Krishna. Unalloyed. Unalloyed means not contaminated by anything else, like unadulterated. And when he saw that sign, he thought that was a positive sign of Krishna saying that we're going to distribute this unalloyed or unadulterated devotional service. That was the word. So very important, unadulterated, means not mixed with anything else, not mixed with karma, not mixed with jnana, not mixed with anything, just pure devotional service. And that pure devotional service, it's a really nice purport, because it explains what it is it's not contaminated by anything. And it is a few things. It's not interrupted, constantly, always serving in one way or another. Prabhupada once said he can't think of a time that he forgot Krishna. So that's pure devotional service. When you're always thinking of Krishna. Thinking of Krishna is devotional service. Remembering, that's remembering. There's 9 processes of devotional service: hearing, chanting, remembering. So whatever we're doing, practical service, menial service, whatever Krishna wants, we're willing to do it. It's not what's this service? Selective service. It's unmotivated. There's no motivation. We're doing it just because we want to serve Krishna. We want to please Krishna. Even not only do we don't want anything material, we don't even want anything spiritual. I mean, the gopis, Krishna had a headache, and they know that if they put the dust of their feet on Krishna's head, then they would have to go to hell. But when Krishna had a headache, and they were told that only the dust from their feet will get rid of the headache, they immediately given the dust from their feet to put on Krishna's head to get rid of the headache, Krishna's headache. And when they were told that, don't you know you go to hell for doing this, for putting the dust, it doesn't matter what happens to me. Krishna has a headache. There's no consideration of one's own self. It's consideration only of Krishna, only of pleasing Krishna. And that's unalloyed love. And that love is only for God, for Krishna. That love is not for anyone material. Every single relationship in this material world, no matter how pure it might be, and the purest is the love for the mother for the child, is not completely unmotivated. There is something eventually the mother may keep loving the child, no matter what the child does, but it's still not considered pure. Pure love is only for Krishna. So we have not had, such experience of just always thinking of Krishna, wanting to hear about Krishna, and wanting anything to do with Krishna, whatever Krishna wants, doing it. And also not caring if he gives me anything in return, not even thinking of myself, just thinking of him. So this is 2 things. Ahaitukiya pratyata is another way. There's used different words here, but it means the same thing, is unmotivated, uninterrupted. So I remember, unmotivated, it's like, how am I going to stop my motivations? I have this motivation, that motivation. I'm serving Krishna for so many reasons, which I may be motivated, either material or spiritual. And so I shouldn't even be motivated spiritually, but that's okay if I am. Or even if I'm motivated materially to surrender to Krishna, that's also okay. Because ultimately, by surrendering to Krishna, I'll become free from that motivation. But the other one is uninterrupted. That we can certainly work on. When we see we're not, now, of course, we have a job and we have to concentrate on our job. So if we're using the fruits of that, of the job for Krishna consciousness, then that's devotional service too. But besides the job, we should try to be thinking of Krishna always and engaging in Krishna's service always. There's so much to do. Even during this coronavirus, there's so much people can do. We had some devotees come yesterday and make the vases. So when you have arti, you'll see the vases. And Prakash and his wife did these vases. So you can do devotional service even during this coronavirus, and we get flowers, and you can help with that. We have Anyway, there's so many things you can do. Even at home, you can serve your deities. You can serve your pictures. With Bhakti Siddhanta, he didn't let any one of his disciples get and worship deities unless they were worshiping those deities before they took initiation, before they were actually got involved in the Gaudiya Math. Then he would allow them to. Otherwise, he would just give them pictures of their local deities and they worship them at home. So even just pictures are fine. You can worship pictures, you know, when you can't come to the temple. So this is devotional service. Any service we do, cooking, you cook. I'm assuming everyone offers their food, so that's also devotional service. You can offer even just offering incense. Just do something for the pictures or for the deities. And the purport, the basic principle of this unadulterated, and then the next is pure devotional service, is love of Godhead. You actually love Krishna. It's hard to conceive of the pure love one can have for Krishna. We have some love for Krishna. Sometimes we see how Krishna works and it helps to increase our love for him, how he's so kind to us. He's kind to us no matter what he does. What may seem good or bad, it's still out of kindness. Who was it? King Vena's father. I don't remember his name. Anyone remember King Vena's father? Who's also a king before his son became king. Anyway, he was thinking that, you know, to have a good son is actually the mercy, you know, of Krishna. But to have a bad son is really merciful, because then you become detached. So King Vena eventually became detached, gave up his whole kingdom, gave up everything, and just went and devoted his life to meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now you might think, well, that was irresponsible, but apparently it's not irresponsible, because he's completely taken shelter of Krishna. But then the kingdom was kind of devastated, because now this son of his, who was so horrible, bad, they called him Horrible King Vena. When he was a kid, he would play with his friends, and sometimes he would kill one of his friends. You can't get much more horrible than that. Of course, when he was king, the rogues and thieves were very rare. Did you see anybody doing anything wrong? Because he would just kill everybody. He was just such a dictator that everyone was in fear of him. So, and the long story, but they finally got rid of him, and then the rogues and thieves became very prominent, and then they performed some sort of sacrifice, and then Ritu Maharaj appeared. But in any case, for a while they had this horrible King Vena. But his father was seeing, even having a bad son, who was such a bad son. Nobody's got a son that bad nowadays. But he saw that as a blessing from Krishna for him, so that he can become detached from this world. So everything, we certainly see the good things as blessings from Krishna, or at least we should. But the bad things, it's harder to see. But even bad things are to help us to see how horrible this material world is, in case we have any doubts. So the basic unadulterated pure devotional service is love of God. So we are gradually developing our love for Krishna. Just after hearing about the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, You know, or what Madguna Shruti Matrena means, just hearing about the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So just by hearing about these things, people get attracted. That's how you get attracted. Because you hear how wonderful he is. There's one chapter in Krishna book called Wonderful Krishna. You hear how wonderful Krishna is, you get attracted. You can't love God if you don't know anything about him. If you just know he's powerful, he's strong, he knows everything. Love him. I can't love that. I mean, I'd like to love him, but I don't know him. But when I hear more about him, what does he look like? What is his pastimes? What he does? How he's so mischievous as a child. You know, when I hear these things, it's very attractive. Now, why is it attractive? Hearing about a mischievous child isn't very attractive, but this is the Supreme Lord. This is God. To understand first his greatness, then to understand how he behaves is very, very, very wonderful. And it's very attractive, his pastimes. And that's why he comes to this material world, to perform these pastimes so we have something to become attracted to. The Supreme Lord is uncontaminated by the modes of material nature, which is called nirguna, no material qualities. Therefore, he is attractive to the pure devotees. So, just like Sukadev Goswami, he was an equal balanced monist. He didn't see anything really attractive, but when he heard of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, he became attracted. Now, he's not attracted to anything material, but he was attracted to that because it's not material, it's spiritual. And those things he's attracted to. So the pure devotee is attracted to those spiritual qualities of the Lord. He's naturally attracted. He's attracted, just so attractive, he can't deviate. I mean, if you think of the devotees in Vrindavan, Krishna goes out to herd the cows. They just watching him. They just watch him until they can't see him anymore. They're so attracted to him and waiting for him all day for him to come back and thinking of him and singing songs about him and about his different pastimes. And then when he comes back, they're in ecstasy that he's back. So this is how attractive they are to Krishna. And when we're that attracted to Krishna, then we're willing to do anything and everything for him. And even if we're not that attracted to Krishna, we should be willing to do anything and everything as far as we possibly can for whatever Krishna wants. We have to have faith. This is what Krishna wants me to do. And then we should try to surrender to it, not get on the mental platform. This isn't my nature. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter if it's my nature or not my nature. I'll try to do it if that's what Krishna wants. So that's devotional service. There's no need to practice meditation to attain such attraction. The pure devotee is already in the transcendental stage, and the affinity between him and the Supreme Personality of Godhead is natural and is compared to the Ganges water flowing towards the sea. So it's just natural. This is actually our nature, is actually to be Krishna conscious. One time, Srila Prabhupada was in a Gurukula, and one of the boys picked up a piece of grass and told Srila Prabhupada that I'm going to touch you with this piece of grass, just like Lord Balaram touched Brahmaharshan Sutta, something like that. And I was thinking that Prabhupada might feel insulted or something. But Prabhupada said, just see how it's natural for them to be Krishna conscious. So in other words, whatever they see, they're thinking of Krishna and Krishna's pastime. They see a piece of grass and they're thinking of the pastimes with Balaram. So it's natural. Prabhupada's pointing out how natural it is. And it's not so natural for us because we are in an unnatural situation. This is not our nature. We're not this body, we're spiritual. And spiritually, we're naturally attracted to Krishna. So we have to, the way to not invent, but to get back to that original natural Krishna consciousness, there's a process. So at first, and Prabhupada gives the example of jaundice, when you first take the sugar candy, which is sweet, but when you have jaundice, it's very bitter, but yet it's the medicine to help get rid of jaundice. So as you're getting rid of the jaundice, it starts tasting sweeter and sweeter. And then when it's totally sweet like sugar is, then you're completely cured of the jaundice. So similarly, it may not be attractive to us to force ourselves to hear and chant about Krishna. But if we do force ourselves in the unnatural state that we're in, then we'll begin to get into the natural state of wanting to hear and chant about Krishna. So this is the process to develop our love for Krishna, to develop our unadulterated love for Krishna, unalloyed love for Krishna. This is the process by making ourselves do it. So how do we know? Because of Prabhupada. Prabhupada told us, and for whatever reasons, we accepted what he said. We can see that he was honest. We can see he cared for us. We can see he did so much, nothing for himself, everything for Krishna. No false ego. So we accept this person as our authority. He's translated all these books. He's present in these books. He said, I'll live forever in my books. And we can associate with Prabhupada and Krishna through these books. So even if we don't feel like reading, we make ourselves read. I remember having that experience when I was a kid. Everyone would be watching TV. When I was a kid, I was not such a kid. I was like 22 years old probably. But I got out of the Navy. I was living at home again, part-time, because then I just went hitchhiking again. But while I was there, everyone's watching TV, and I used to watch TV, and I used to really like these shows, but it was a time when I could just sit down in my room and read with my family not bothering me. So every single time I had to make myself read Krishna book and Bhagavad Gita. I never wanted to do it. I always wanted to watch TV. But every time I made myself do it, afterwards, I was so glad that I did that and didn't watch these stupid TV programs. So you have to, in the conditioned state, in the impure state, we have to make ourselves do these things. But then when we actually come to the pure state, that's all we want to do. It says here, the word avichina, without interruption, is very important in this connection. No material condition can stop the flow of the devotional service of a pure devotee. There's no material impediment for devotional service. No matter what happens, you can still engage in devotional service. People use excuses. Well, I got this happen, that happened. There's nothing that can happen that can stop you from doing devotional service. That's your material calculation. But you can always take shelter of Krishna in any material situation, no matter what it is. You can take shelter of Krishna. The word ahaituki means without reason or without interruption in other places. A pure devotee does not render loving service to the personality of God for any cause or for any benefit, material or spiritual. Doesn't do it because he wants something. God, if you give me this, I'll do this for you. Or I'll do this for you, but please give me this. Well, I'm going to do this for you. If you don't give this to me, that's okay. If you give it to me, that's okay. But I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it for just trying to please you. We should try to think like that. Even when we pray, Krishna, please, help this devotee in his health. It really, Prabhupada said for himself how we should pray. He didn't tell us pray to Krishna so that I live longer. No, he didn't care if he lived longer. Krishna, it doesn't matter. It's whatever Krishna wants. So he's had us pray. If you please help Srila Prabhupada. If you so desire, please cure Srila Prabhupada. If you so desire. That's all Prabhupada thought about. For his own life, for anyone's life. If you desire, you know what's best. We don't know. We see a tiny little picture of the whole universe, of our little universe. But Krishna sees everything, not even our universe, every universe. So he knows what's best. Everyone has to die. We can't pray, oh, please don't let him die. He's got to die sometime. So if you so desire, that's as far as we can. But even if we can't, even going to Krishna for material things is still purifying. 4 kinds of people surrender. One in knowledge, one who's inquisitive, one who is in distress, one who needs money, material things. These people go to Krishna. And Krishna says all of them are Mahatmas, but the person who comes in knowledge, he's the best. Knowledge means I know Krishna is God, I should surrender to him. A pure devotee does not render loving service to the personality of God for any cause or any benefit, material or spiritual. This is the first symptom of unalloyed devotion. First symptom, not doing it for any material or spiritual reason, just doing it to please Krishna. First symptom. Anyabilashita shunyam. He has no desire to fulfill by rendering devotional service. I'm not doing it because I want anything. I'm just doing it to please you. Such devotional service is meant for the Purushottama, the Supreme Personality, and not for anyone else. Oh, this is interesting because some people think of doing bhakti to this person or that person. Yet sometimes pseudo-devotees show devotion to many demigods, thinking the form of the demigod is to be the same as the Supreme Personality of Godhead's form. It is specifically mentioned herein, however, that bhakti, devotional service, is meant only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, Vishnu, or Krishna, not for anyone else. So sometimes people want to do bhakti for Lord Shiva. That's not bhakti. Bhakti is only for Krishna, unalloyed, not wanting anything. How many people worship Lord Shiva? Raise your hand. Who don't want anything. People worship Lord Shiva because he's easily pleased, easily satisfied. Ashutosh, something like that. His name is Ashutosh, which is easily pleased. So then he gives you what you want. So people worship him. Whereas if you worship Krishna, he may give you what you want also, but he considers it. What's the result going to be? If I give this person this, are they going to forget about me? Then I'm not going to give it to him. But if it's going to help in your devotional service, then he may give it to you. So this bhakti is only for Krishna, not for anyone else. Avyavahita means without cessation. Talked about that already. We don't stop. Our devotional service goes forever. Even when the body stops, we don't stop. We're not the body. Pure devotee must engage in the service of the Lord 24 hours a day without cessation. His life is so molded that at every minute and every second, he engages in some sort of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So even while sleeping, he's thinking of Krishna. Or as devotees say, Prabhupada never slept. Whenever anybody was near, he would just speak to them like, you know, like he's supposed to be sleeping, but he talks to them like he's not sleeping at all. Same level. That's really important. It's whatever Krishna wants. Pradyumna had that. If Krishna likes something that he didn't like, he accepted it as nectar. If he liked something and Krishna didn't like, he would accept it as poison. So his likes, even Prabhupada did that. I want to distribute, someone told Prabhupada, I want to distribute 1 million books or 1 million Back to Godhead magazines because it's your desire. He said it to Prabhupada. Prabhupada says, no, it's Bhakti Vinod Thakur's desire. Then it's Bhakti Siddhanta's desire. Then it's my desire. So Prabhupada's desire is not to distribute books. All his desire is because they want him to distribute books. They want these books distributed. Therefore, he desires to distribute these books. And they are representing Krishna. So same with us. I just read today about Prabhupada saying, he said, stop building temples, just distribute my books. How important the book distribution is. But of course, we haven't stopped. We're still doing both. I mean, you could do both. But. Okay. The devotee has no interest but to fulfill the transcendental desire of the Supreme Lord. Such spontaneous service unto the Supreme Lord is transcendental and is never contaminated by the material modes of nature. These are the symptoms of pure devotional service, which is free from all contamination of material nature. So I'll read the verse once again and see if anyone has any questions first, and then if not, comments. The manifestation of unadulterated devotional service is exhibited when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing the transcendental name and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is residing in everyone's heart. Just as the water of the Ganges flows naturally down towards the ocean, such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material condition, flows towards the Supreme Lord. Okay, any questions? Okay, any comments?
I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
So I know I've heard this many, many, many times that there's no material impediments to Krishna consciousness, but sometimes there's lack of inspiration with people that you're surrounded with. What do you do then?
You get away from them. Well,
Okay.
I mean, obviously you can't just get away from everybody and everything. So you have to somehow, in spite of that, you have to see that Krishna has put these people there. Now, how does he want me to deal with them? I want to do my devotional service.
With great difficulty.
I mean, you're never going to have the ideal situation. Everything's never going to be perfect.
I know, but it's so much easier when you're surrounded by devotees.
There's so many people can see, so many things would make my life so much easier. You know, some people as devotees are struggling financially. And if they had some money, it would be so much easier to engage in devotional service. But then they don't have that. So they have to figure out how to do both. I don't think it's just, okay, I got the perfect situation. Now I can just hear and chant and everything is wonderful. No, that's never going to happen for anybody. There's always so many things. It's not like Prabhupada didn't have problems. So many problems. He'd think about them so much, consume so much of his time, difficulties with ISKCON, difficulties in Juhu, trying to get that property. So many problems he had. So he didn't say to Krishna, why are you doing this to me? How am I supposed to hear and chant about you with all this? That's my service too. So there's always problems, and
But I think one of the greatest difficulties is when you're forced to have the association of non-devotees. I think that is a big difficulty.
almost everybody is. Everybody works, except now they can work from home. So as long as their family are devotees, then it's nice. And if they're not, maybe better off going to work. Anyway, you have to see that Krishna has put me in this situation. Krishna has given me these relatives that I can't get away from. At least I can't see any way. And if there is a way, then Krishna, please tell me what that way is, and I'll do it. But for now, I have this, so it's a little more difficult for me. So whenever I can, I'm going to hear and chant. When I can't, I'll just try to remember you, try to think of you. I mean, you have to see it's Krishna that did this. And or because my karma, my this or that. No, it's ultimately Krishna's did it for you, for all of us. Krishna's doing it to us. Whether it's because of our karma or because of anything. He can change anything if he likes. It's not like something has to stay that way. But if it does stay that way, we accept it. Krishna's, you're giving me these difficult situations. In spite of this, I'm going to still chant and hear about you as much as I possibly can. That's all. And let me become detached from this whole family business.
Yeah. And then another comment, I just got a call from a karmi friend, a friend who's not Krishna conscious so much. And she said, oh, I'm doing some meditation in the morning. And I tried to direct the conversation saying, yeah, this whole COVID situation makes you realize everything is so temporary. This material world is not reality. And her next response was, yeah, we have to enjoy every minute. I can't stand that sentence from practically everybody, who says we have to enjoy every minute, I mean, they do not understand that it's not us who need to enjoy every minute, unless you enjoy your service in Krishna consciousness, that's a different thing. But they think that you need to just.
I know. So what can you say? You can say, well, from my experience, every time I really try to enjoy, I wind up suffering. That's the
I turned that around by saying, yeah, I mean, as long as you're enjoying doing your, spiritual things, that's how I turned it around. But that's all I could say to her.
Right. Or else you won't have her calling you anymore.
No, I mean, they just call to kind of, feel better about the whole situation, but no one really understands that there's so much lessons to be learned here, that this is not reality.
We're actually meant to enjoy it every moment. That's a fact.
Right.
But that enjoyment that they're experiencing, this skin disease, this it's not real enjoyment. Real enjoyment is spiritual. And that's why she wants that, because that's what we really are meant to do, is to enjoy it every moment. Ever increasing transcendental ecstasy. Whereas the material enjoyment is limited and temporary. Only so much enjoyment you can get from anything, and then it's there and it's gone. But spiritually, you can enjoy more and more and more and greater enjoyment. It's not stagnant. So
yeah, but until you feel that, you feel like you're suffering all the time in the material world.
Yeah, well, you have to. Krishna says, as you surrender unto me, I reward you accordingly. So as much as we surrender, we get rewarded. And sometimes we have to surrender more. It's not like what I used to surrender when I first started chanting 1 round a day, and therefore I was surrendered. I may have been experiencing some ecstasy from it, but now it's Krishna wants more. We got to do more now. So we can't be stagnant in our surrendering. We have to increase. And then increasing doesn't necessarily mean physically doing more, because physically, as our body gets older, we can't do more, but at least we can think more of Krishna or hear more when we're chanting. You know, we have to somehow increase. Jiva, you have a comment?
I kind of like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Someone they
There's a
say,
nice Jiva here. I'll give you-
when they say something like you gotta have to enjoy it while you can. Oftentimes, I think people mean appreciate, because they know life is short, so you have to appreciate it. I don't know if they're thinking you got to grossly enjoy your senses. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But I think oftentimes people mean we should appreciate it.
Yeah, she did say something like, you know, I at least I have like a nice house. I don't have to worry about money, you know, like God has given me good circumstances. So
Yeah,
in a sense, yeah. So appreciate that, you know.
yeah. I think it's just their way of seeing that.
Yeah, I'm definitely better off than so many people in this world. So materially speaking, so I'm happy. I'm satisfied.
Because you could probably reason with them. How much can you really enjoy? You know,
You know, yeah.
I think they would agree if they're a reasonable person. If you can reason.
Yeah, and some of my cousins say like, well, our life will be taken away from us one way or the other, whether we are young or old or whatever. But while we are here, we just need to be kind to each other and enjoy every, you know, minute of it. So people say that so often, you know, that those kind of statements.
Get all
But
the
they
gusto
don't,
you can.
But
huh?
enjoyment is not suffering.
Get all the gusto while you can.
Yeah, yeah, and like be kind to each other and be nice to each other. I mean, all that is kind of a little bit in the mode of goodness, I guess. But
Yeah.
people still do not question that this is not reality, you know, that there is. And I even said to the friend I was talking to that there is another, you know, reality, you know, and that's the part people do not want to think about.
That's where they need the nudge.
Yeah, you know, but you know, I guess all of us who preach to others can understand you can nudge till the cows come home, but sometimes the nudge doesn't work, you know.
Oops. What happened?
I don't know, you guys are moving around a lot.
I don't see anything here.
You're going to the deities?
Yes, but it got closed, the video.
Oh, we can see you and hear you.
Oh, I can't see. We can't see, but they can see.
You can see what?
I can see the deities. You're coming closer to the deities.
See the deities?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We can't see anything. We just see Zoom. What's wrong? What are we
You
doing
probably
wrong?
accidentally turned off your video.
And who else is on? Does anybody else see anything?
Yes,
I
I
Prabhu.
see it.
We can't.
Yes,
we can't
we
even
all
focus.
can see.
We can't see it.
Prabhu, you might have minimized the zoom.
your camera.
Yeah. Click.
Okay, start.
Hare Krishna.
Now we can see only you.
Let's offer our respectful obeisances. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Oh, yeah, 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Oh, we got 2 more minutes. Any other questions or comments? Or 1 more minute?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, I have a quick question.
Haribol?
Haribol Prabhu. So you said even the people who worship Krishna in distress
Everybody seems to be pretty still. I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear him, Pyari?
No, I hear you.
You cannot hear me, Prabhu?
Now I hear you.
Okay. Yes. I said, you mentioned that even the people who worship Krishna in distress or for wealth, they are also Mahatma.
Yes.
If this is the case, then like most of the people are Mahatma. I mean, I myself consider
Well,
myself
most
a
of the
Mahatma
people
too.
do not worship Krishna.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
What was the answer?
one who takes shelter of Krishna, whatever the reason. In other words, you are Mahatma, yes, but most people don't surrender to Krishna. You know, we're surrendering to Krishna, but your reason originally may have been from material reasons, but you're still considered a Mahatma if you're surrendering to Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for the title, Hare Krishna.
It's close to you. I don't know about anybody else.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, glory.
That was really cute.
Shri Jagan.
I don't know if the kirtan's on. We can't hear anything. Maybe it's us.
Hare Krishna, Madhav Gopal Prabhu. We can't hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, there's no good reception. None of us can hear.
Well, I hear everybody but Madhava Gopal. Chant until Madhava Gopal gets online.
Hare
Prabhu.
Jai Om Vishnu Paramahansa Parabrajacharya Asutara Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Shila Bhai Charanavinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Paramahansa Parabrajacharya Asutara Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudhi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Girikodan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Mahi Ki Jai, Jamuna Mahi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Shrimati Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai, Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi Ki Jai, Lord Nrsimhadev Ki Jai, Shri Shalagram Shilas Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Gaurnitai Ki Jai, Shri Gaurnitai Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Jai, Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everybody, for joining our special Sunday program online today. Our feast sponsors for today are Dev Prabhu, Manishi Mataji and family are sponsoring for the spiritual benefit of their grandmother, Arati Banerjee, who passed away from this material world last week. And also, Ragasindhu Prabhu and family are sponsoring for Jairam Prabhu and family spiritual benefit. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Thank you. Just a quick reminder of our regular programs that we're having on Zoom online. We have our daily Bhagavad Gita classes from 7 to 8 in the evening, all weekdays. In fact, Monday to Saturday. On Saturday, we have a special quiz based on what we had covered during the entire week. We also have our Narsimha Kavacha program. It's the Narsimha Kavacha chanting along with translation. on weekdays from 8:30 to 9 o'clock in the evening, and on Saturdays and Sundays from 10:30 to 11 in the morning. We have a special Srimad Bhagavatam class every Saturday in the morning, starting at 7:45. And we have daily verses memorization from 9 p.m. in the evening. That's throughout Monday. That's Monday through Sunday. Now we will have chanting for the free sponsors.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गौर निताय की जय, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय।
जय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। रागा सिंधु प्रभु जी फैमिली एंड जय। ऋषि माता जी, देव प्रभु फैमिली एंड आरती बैनर्जी माता जी की जय।
Prabhu, can you mention about the survey that we sent out for Janmashtami?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, I have that on the agenda. So a survey was shared out, as Prabhuji just mentioned. A survey was shared out to all devotees on email yesterday regarding Janmashtami. So we request all devotees to please respond to that survey as soon as possible. We request one member from each family to respond to that survey so that we can gauge your opinion and suggestions regarding our Janmashtami preparations. Madhav Gopal Prabhu, was there anything else that you wanted to mention regarding this? Any other details?
You covered it. Good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Prabhuji.
I was like, I don't.
We also are into Hare Krishna.
Was there a question?
Yeah, I don't think we got the emails because I check my emails every day. I didn't see an email about the survey. So is it going to be resent?
I got my email.
I didn't get mine. So can it be resent out?
I don't know if I have your email. I'll just forward it, but I don't know if I have it.
Okay, Mataji, I think we'll check. Anand Gaurang Prabhu sent to all the congregation members. Yeah, we'll forward that to you.
Check your spam. It could go into your spam too.
No, I have all the emails from the temple. No problem. Just one I did not get because I check my emails every day.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I did not get the email either. I just checked, even in
Okay.
my spam.
Okay, I'll check.
Into our second week, we've completed.
Can't hear you, Dev. Dev Prabhu, can't hear you.
You are breaking, Prabhu.
Really bad.
Prabhu, can you hear us?
I can hear everybody fine except for Dave.
Yeah, I think Deb is trying to sing something.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Prabhu.
I think his reception is poor.
Yeah.
Well, we know you
Prabhu,
mean.
Prabhu, you can, Deb Prabhu, cut your video. See if we can receive the audio.
Well, that didn't help.
Okay, maybe he's trying to join again.
Yeah.
All right, Prabhu. So, will someone inform Anand Gaurang Prabhu to resend
Or Jill can post her email in the chat and somebody can forward it to her.
I think more than Jill Mataji, few people may.
Oh, few people didn't get it. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't check mine, so I don't know if I got it or not. But the idea is, depending on number of people, will we have a program? What is the idea?
So the idea is if more devotees are willing to come to the temple, go to the temple on that day, depending on how they are going to visit, they're going for darshan or they're willing to stay. Depending on that, we're going to arrange the program.
What day is Janmashtami? Anyway, is that, I know that's coming up, but when?
11th.
Yeah, I'm taking the 2 days off, 11th and 12th. If you need any help for any kind of prasadam, I can help, but I don't plan to come to the temple.
Yes, Mataji. I think there is one more email went from Rajnandi Mataji for Vyasa Puja Prasadam. I think your team lead might contact you. Like it's sent to all the team leads. I mean, cooking team leads. So the cooking team lead will check with their team. So maybe.
And Vyasa Puja is the same thing. Are we having
No,
it?
Vyasa Puja is the next step, Mataji, and then I have sent email to the team leads. If anybody is willing to cook for, Prabhupada offering or maybe for the sponsor bag. So I talked with Malti Priya, she'll talk to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have vacation days and nowhere to go, so I'm taking those 2 days off.
Right.
Depending on how many devotees are willing to go to the temple, most likely, even if devotees are not going through the Zoom, we will have the program, both the programs at the new temple, because we have a lot of space, and we are planning to show the whole event through the Zoom as well for devotees who are not planning to go.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we may show all the prasadam. You may get jealous.
Hey, I might come and just pick up the prasadam and go.
No curbside pickup. Sorry.
Hey, if I help cook.
Yeah, because you get it.
Yeah, I might be, qualified to get a box.
Looks like Deb Prabhu's not joining.
All right. Anything else, Prabhu, or we can?
Prabhuji, can you hear me now?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was just mentioning that if anyone else is, I think Prabhuji already covered. I was saying that if anyone has not received the email, you can also share your email IDs on Zoom chat. And, maybe Raj Prabhu, if you can make a note of that, or Ganpati Govind Prabhu, in case someone has not received the email and you've also checked your spam folders, you can just share your email IDs. We'll check one more time. Okay. And for our free sponsorship, for rather Sunday program sponsorships, you can also be one of the sponsors. If anybody is interested to sponsor the Sunday program for the Lordships, you can contact His Grace Pyari Mohan Prabhuji or Jiva Mataji, and Mahaprasadam delivery can also be arranged for you. The sponsorship is for only $125. We are also we have in fact completed our second week of our kids summer camp. Haribol. In case anybody else who has not enrolled their kids and wants to enroll, you still have an opportunity. You may contact Krishna Priya Mataji and have your kids enrolled for the special summer camp program at ISKCON of Connecticut. And that was about the announcements. Mata Gopal Prabhu, Ganpati Govind Prabhu, are there any other important items to mention?
No, Prabhu, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Raj Prabhu, you can take over.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thanks for joining for Sunday online program. We'll meet next week. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.